Now, the FMDQ OTC Securities Exchange and the Nigerian Mortgage Refinance Company PLC have signed a memorandum of understanding that will facilitate sourcing of long-term funds from the capital market towards the development of the mortgage industry and ultimately bridge Nigeria's housing deficit through the provision of affordable housing finance. The MOU, which was signed in Abuja, came on the heels of the Regulatory Supervision Collaboration Agreement, which FMDQ recently executed with the National Pension Commission towards enhanced and efficient pension fund governance, regulation, and supervision. And let's get to the debt market there, the FMDQ OTC market. I'm being joined by a fixed income trader at FSDH Merchant Bank, Alvin Izelian. Good afternoon, Alvin.
Good afternoon.
Now, it's the last trading day for the week. What's the day looking like?
Okay, it's relatively been a quiet market, especially on the short end of the market, treasury-based market. We've seen a flat market throughout the trading session, but some very shaky sentiment on the long end of the curve, bonds market, where we've seen some sell-off. The market is actually trying to price increased inflation expected for May, and the fact that CBN has come up to issue OMO option 3 times during the course of the week. So the bearish sentiment is still there for the long end of the curve, while for the short end it's a bit flat.
Now, as regards the yields, how would you compare the opening yields and the current yield?
Well, we've seen approximate increase of about 0.5% across the maturities for the long end of the curve, while for the short end it's been relatively flat today.
And what is your outlook for next week?
Well, we have the bond auction coming up next week, where 105 billion in total will be sold across 3 maturities. We expect the bearish sentiment for the long end of the curve to continue, while for the short end we still see CBN to continue with a tightening policy by issuing more OMO bills, because between now and the end of June we have over 400 billion maturing into the market. So CBN will continue to issue OMO to mop up liquidity from the system.
Right, thank you very much for your time, Alvin. And Egypt's gold mining industry has for years been long on potential and short on investment, the result of a jarring mismatch between spectacular geology and an unattractive commercial framework for mining. Now, despite a history of gold mining that stretches back to the pharaohs, the industry is largely dormant. Let's see this.
In Egypt's rocky eastern desert, Alexander Nubia, CEO of Mark Campbell, sees hills so rich with gold that they could lure billions in investments and jumpstart the ailing economy. With just a single gold-producing mine, Sentiments to carry, the sector contributes a fraction of 1% to gross domestic product. But last year, Egypt's government said it wanted mining to contribute upwards of 5% to GDP within 10 years. This month, it will launch its first bid round for new mining concessions since 2009, when a global gold mining boom brought a handful of first-time investors to Egypt, despite what many of them say were poor commercial terms.
A variety of minerals are found here, principally gold, silver, copper, lead, and zinc, in massive sulfide and orogenic gold deposits. But there's others. There's occurrences of tungsten and molybdenum, possibly others. It's interesting because it extends into Saudi Arabia and into Sudan and Eritrea, where there are large mines being found and developed. Egypt has potential for similar.
Rather than levy a modest royalty on mineral production and collect tax, a system that held Peru and Mexico launch their mining sectors, Egypt offers investors a production sharing agreement similar to its oil and gas deals. Mining companies say the model does not fit their work. Unlike companies drilling wells, their capital costs can stretch for decades as they build out mines requiring hundreds of millions of dollars in investment.
There's about 6,000 years of mining history here, and a large part of it was gold. And what makes it exciting is that for all those years, that's thousands of years that it was mined, it stopped. And so effectively, in the modern era, it's virgin territory. So following on from where the old timers went, where the people before mined gold, but without the benefit of modern technology. It offers almost a roadmap to those opportunities. There's over 1,000 areas within the Eastern Desert that have, at one time or another, been mined for gold and other minerals.
Alexander Nubia is just one of 3 active explorers in Egypt who began exploring in 2011 and will likely yield a commercially viable discovery next year. His firm plans to begin building Egypt's second mine by 2019.
And that's it on the program. Thank you for watching. I'm Chimeze Obiwagu.